Hey YouTube, Mike here. How we doing today? I'm bored senseless. I had to get out here to the shop and do a video. Feel good today, so it's a video that I've been wanting to do on squares. The squares that I use and the different types, what they can be used for, different applications. So I figured since I feel good, let me get this in the works. Alright, today, as you can see, I've laid out some squares, some layout and depth pieces that I have and what we're going to be using them for. I really like Woodpecker. I find it to be a very good tool, very good price. Use it for, as you can see in the videos that I've put out, I've used them in different applications. But as you see, I have a 6-inch, a 12-inch, the T-square, Carpenter Square, and then I have a couple of 90-45 degree, they're Empire and Brookstone Machinist Square. The TSO product MTR 18, which is actually a very good square if you're doing like cabinetry or desks for the side pieces. It's a very good square. This piece attaches on if you're not going to use it for the MFT table. As you can see, there's 3 Allen screws to take this square off, the actual bar off. It will lay flat so it can adjust on the MFT table, which I have a video on. But I leave this on. It takes a couple of seconds to take off because it's a very good square, a large square when I'm doing a big project. But as far as with the standard squares, the 6-inch square, it's good for laying out lines and also checking for plumb. You know, if you were attaching this piece to this, larger for your 12-inch, you can even use the Carpenter Square. Very good anodized aluminum machine, CNC'd. The layout of them, very precise. But the T-square, which is the TS24, and they make it up to 4 foot, has the larger holes for the 1-inch increments that the pencil can go through. So if you're laying out, say, a line at 1 inch, if you could see that, your pencil goes in, of course the board's clamped down, you just bring that along. But if you notice in this, there's, what are they, 1/16 holes all the way down the 24-inch. You can see those tiny little holes. What that is used for, I just happen to have the Woodpecker pencil, but any auto pencil will work. It goes into the tiny hole. So say I wanted to lay out at 1 1¼ There's the 1 inch, and there's the 1 1/4. You could do that all the way down up the board. Very good square, very useful. I'll include all of the model numbers and prices. They run a little over $100, depending on what you're using it for. Of course, with these squares, they're 90 degree. The Carpenter Square is 90 and 45. Broke the pencil. They're not used for that. But also, these squares, which you can pick up in any big box store, Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, 90 degree, 45, a 12-inch ruler, they're removable, goes into a lock, if I could find it here, there we go. Tighten down the thumb screw, a level. I mean, you're not going to be leveling doors with it. plus a scribe. And they come on all their sizes up to 6-inch. Same thing, just a miniature version. And then the machinist square. Again, you know, squaring up, laying out a 45. But the good beauty about these also, that they're so versatile. And let me swing this over to the router table. Then I'm going to bring it over to the table saw. They're depth sets. Let me pan this in here. I have 2 Eagle depth sets. The 2 different Eagle, which you could set the height. But only one part spans and it's very small. With the square, and we're going to do the machinist square and the 6-inch square. Say you want a 1/2 inch of the blade of the bit sticking out. Lay that down. Crank up your. Now, there's your 1/2 inch. So the square is used as a height gauge. You can also, if you happen to have also this machinist square, the same thing. We'll do, you know, say you want 3/8. There you go. There's your height. Now, let me show you these while I got the camera down. These are Kreg's height gauges. They go from 1/8 to 1/2 inch. Same thing. Let's grab the 1/2 inch. So it's something, those squares are so versatile if you don't need to purchase such an expensive, and these weren't that much money. But you see, I can get my height, my height right there. Now I have my bit is 1/2 inch above the top of the router table. Let's get this back here. Okay. So that's the router table. You can also use it. Let me. Well, actually, you know what? I'll show it on the table saw because it'll be the same thing as the router table. Let's do the table saw. Let's just get this over here. Get it down to the table. And now I'm going to show you something here. Let me get this panned in good so you can see it. Alright, let me grab 2 squares. Now, again, you could do the same thing, adjusting the height. Say you want, I put it in backwards, of course. Give me a second here. Hey, what's going on here? There we go. Sorry about the delay there, fellas. Alright, say you want a 1/2 inch above. Tighten it down. And now crank your wheel, if I can find my wheel. And now I'm a 1/2 inch above the table. Now you could take your machinist square, if you happen to have one of these, you could check the trueness of your blade. What you do is loosen, pan it down so it's flat with your table, tighten up the thumb screw. Now bring your blade up. Of course, the table saw is unplugged. And now you can check the trueness of the blade by running this across from one side to the other, flat to the table, and if the blade is at perfect 90 degree. Now also with the square, you can check, and of course you're going to need the larger square. you can check the trueness from your miter gauge, from your slot to the blade. Get it up against the blade. Now, of course, you're not going to run into your carbides. And run your, can you see? Let me just make sure you can see that. Run your square from your slot across the blade, watching the ruler to the blade. And you could make, and of course, don't come over to the next, to the two carbides, because it's going to kick. So, and it's the best thing to do is to draw it back to you, because you got more control over it. And put your thumb against the blade so it doesn't rotate. Remember? Table saw unplugged. And now you could check the trueness of the blade. Now let me get this over to the fence. Okay, can we see that? Now with the fence, bring the fence over till it's touching. Lock the fence down. Now, of course, I'm in the blade, so you got to go further. Stupid me. Must be the meds. Bring that over. Lock your fence down. And now, watching the ruler go across. Make sure you're still in contact with this slot all the way. And now that'll tell you that your fence is true to the slot, which is then again true to the blade. So you see, they're not, it's not just layout lines. Okay, let's get this camera back quickly here. Oh God, you just got a good picture of my face. Woohoo. Okay, so here is the Kreg set. I own this. I own these probably about 4 years. Again, they're not very expensive, but you don't need them. If you have just 2 or 3 of these inexpensive, boy, I'm doing great today with the camera. If you have 2 or 3 of these inexpensive squares, now I think it's Staten makes a very good, but you know, they're pricey. These I picked up at Home Depot. They're stainless steel, and they're probably, I think this 12-inch was like $29. But the beauty is you got a nice scribe too. I mean, you know, you got an awls, but you got a really nice scribe. I mean, you can lay out dovetails with this thing. They're very, very sharp, and they hold very nicely in the tip. Okay, my other Kreg piece. This is the Kreg, what do they call this thing? The multi-mark. Home Depot sells them. Any tool store sell them. And as you can see, it's an adjustable dept. It actually has metric on the back, inches on the front. And, woo, it's another level. Picture frame, you know. But what I love using this for, and you know, you watch other guys in the videos, they take this square, right? They put it here, and they take their pencil, and they mark it here on 3, and they drag it along, but the pencil doesn't move. The beauty is, with this, now of course that's not clamped down, but it is so much easier to lay this out like that. I mean, my grandfather, he used to let me practice. He used to let me practice this. So I'd take a measurement, say 2 inches. Now I need a line. So he used to make me practice this, holding my fingers, holding the pencil, and dragging it down. You know, a little shaky, of course, but he used to let me always practice that. You got to get used to it, to drag your finger down. So, I'm getting off on a tangent here. The reason that I was showing you this is, you know I have all those SYS drawers. If you're laying out drawer slides, okay? Once you have you know, they have the Kreg jig that holds this in place where you're screwing it. You could make, you know, pre-made pieces. This one happens to be for an SYS2, a Sustainer 2, 14.5 inches between the two drawers. So I have them laid out. But the depth back from the front of the cabinet. So let me just make sure we got this in, okay, yes we do. So you want to lay this out so that each drawer and the sides are exactly the same. Best way to do it, here's the bottom of your, you know, so of course you're going to have this off the, wherever height you're going to have this, but we're just going to put it to the bottom. And say we want to have the drawers so that when, and I happen to know that it's a 1/2 inch, so that the SYS drawers fit flush with the front. So we're just going to use a 1/2 inch. So I got a 1/2 inch marked on this, and now I just put this right up against, of course I'm hitting the table. I get this right up against this. I got a 1/2 inch, and then I get my pencil, and now I mark my line. And then I go to the other side, do the same thing. Then once it's in, once you have this at your 1/2 inch, your drawers, you got your slide open, you just come over and mark your holes for your drawers wherever you, and you could do 2. You don't have to necessarily do 3 or 4, because 2 will hold it level. Then you got it in there, you come in, you pre-drill. Now you put your drawer slide right back on, right up to the line. You'll see where your pre-drill holes are. Put your screws in, then you can go about putting the rest in depending on how long the drawer slide is. So that's basic, some basic things you could do with the squares, and some basic squares. You know, you can go to the extreme as far as Woodpecker, but these things, and they sit right there on the wall, that big blank space right back there, which I don't know if you could see, but let's look up there. That blank space next to the other Woodpecker, that's where my squares sit. And I use them. I use them all the time. This thing I use extensively. I even have one in my plumbing truck to measure for like sink faucets and stuff. They're great. They're only a couple of bucks. They sit very nice in there. Okay, I hope this was helpful. And again, the camera's not where I'm supposed to be. I'd like to thank everybody so far for all the comments on the giveaway. Wow, thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. Just want to let you know, and I don't think I mentioned it, the bag I'm giving away, I just mentioned the website if you want to look at it. That bag was not given to me. It's me and my family's, you know, gift out to the winner, who's ever chosen. Again, you know I don't accept anything free from any of the tool companies, because I want to give you a total 100%, you know, unbiased opinion of what I buy, and I use it, and then I'll let you know if it's up or down. It's the way I want to do it. It's the way I want to portray my channel, and I hope it'll help, because I know when I looked through the many years that I looked on YouTube, that's what I liked when somebody purchased it, because you know, a lot of years it's a hobby. It's a hobby for me. You're spending money, whether, you know, it's gift money or the money, hard-earned money you made doing work or extra work, whatever. You're buying something, and you know, I want to give you that opinion that this tool is good, and you'll know because I bought it. Yeah, I could sell it on eBay again, but you're not, you know, you're not getting what you spent on the tool. So I hope that stuff is helpful to you. I got a ton more reviews of other tools that I bought, especially the 60 volt max system. We have used all of the tools. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the stud drill, unbelievable. If you need to buy one, it is unbelievable. It's a beast. We used it for a house rough, and this thing drilled like a monster in every single direction. Up, down, through the beams, fit perfectly in the studs. The clutch worked flawlessly. 4.5-inch holes for the toilets worked great. So, but I'll be doing a review on that. Okay, YouTube, if anybody wants a Mike's Woodshop sticker, I will include my email, and just send me your contact info and we'll mail you out a sticker. Now, I have one question that maybe one of you can answer. Right now, I'm filming off of my small Sony video camera with the little card, the small card. Now, I have that other Sony, which I showed in the video yesterday, the 4K, that has the large card. And both cards, I think this one's a 32 and the other one's a 64. When I go to download the videos onto YouTube off of the 4K, I mean, I might as well pack a lunch and a pillow and take a nap and eat, because it takes hours. When I download off of this camera with this card, maybe 30 minutes to 40 minutes. I'm not a camera guy. I mean, I'm still looking at YouTube with the videoing. Does anybody know if there's something that I'm either doing wrong, or is it the card or the camera? Okay? I greatly appreciate any help. All right, YouTube, you all be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.